What's up, everybody? Wanted to do a quick update on Clov. I'm still not home. If you've been following me and you've been following the live streams, I know I said on Friday that I was going to take a couple days off. I was going to be out of town. I still am. I'm doing this from a hotel room right now, but I'll be home tomorrow and I'll kick off the live stream again on Thursday. I wanted to get this video out now because there's been a lot happening with Clov, and I wanted to give my thoughts and kind of a brief update. If you're not going to watch the whole video, just hear this. Clov's an amazing company. It's undervalued, and I think this makes it a great value investment and a squeeze play. I don't want to say it's the best one out there because I know there's a ton of squeezes out there. There might be some that squeeze first, or Clov may squeeze first. These are all going to be big plays. But I think that, you can kind of put these squeeze plays into three different categories. And I'm talking about all the stocks that are out there. People are posting about them all the time. And, there's three categories. There's one that are price based on speculative growth. So if the squeeze doesn't pan out, the company should do better in the future. And, you'll end up getting your money back, recouping it, or making some money off it. That's the first category. The second category, I would say, is the current trading price is based entirely on the squeeze potential only. There's some companies out there that, are trading well over market cap, and once the squeeze fizzles out, whether it happens or not, it's going to fall down from where it's at right now. The third category, I'd say, is stocks that are undervalued. The price is trading lower than where it should be trading at right now, so whether it squeezes or not, you're going to get a good profit coming in sooner than later. That's where I think Clov is. I think with Clov right now, you could buy in, and if this stock doesn't squeeze, it's still going to double your money. You're still going to get, a nice return, whether or not it squeezes or not. If you've watched my previous videos, I think this stock should be priced somewhere around $20 to $27 right now, and that's not including some of the recent contracts that Clov came up with, in the past couple weeks. So that price, even that valuation of 20 to 27, is probably going to be even higher than it is right now. Trading at, I think it closed today at 1263. Anyways, like I said, a lot's happened. It started with someone posted over the weekend, I think it might have been Friday night, that they actually got a confirmation email from Clov itself saying that the Green Oaks Capital shares, which is basically over 90 million shares, were Class B, not Class A. They linked the SEC filing to prove it. I did get a chance to read through that. But the reason that's important is speculation is that, that makes the free float much smaller. Again, I say speculation. But if that's true, that would make the current short interest somewhere in like the 90% range, maybe higher. I've seen some people out there saying 100%, some people saying 80%. I haven't had time to really dig into it, but that could be huge. If we get some information that actually proves that the actual free float is a lot smaller, you're talking about 90%, 100%, maybe higher short interest. That kind of puts it into, I've only seen one other stock like that. It's another stock that I'm still in right now, and that's GameStop. I think that was back 140% reported short interest back in January. So if that news actually drops and we get confirmation about these Class B shares, we might be looking at a really, really crazy short squeeze. The other reason that's important that they are Class B, though, with Clov specifically, I know that some of the early investors, some of the people with Class B shares, have different stipulations on when they could sell their shares. Some of them are, I think, $30 for 90 days, meaning that the price needs to trade above $30 for 90 consecutive days before they can sell. There's also some other Class B shares out there that need to trade above $12 for 20 days within a 30-day time frame. Either way, you're talking about a lot of shares out there that can't just be sold as soon as this thing, jumps up, which means us as retail investors are going to be able to get our shares out earlier in a squeeze. Again, this whole short interest thing is all purely speculation, but it was confirmed that these shares were Class B. I'll be updating on that as soon as I get more information. If that's true, though, we're looking at GME level squeezes. We'll have to wait and see. Next thing I wanted to show was the Ortex data, just because I haven't looked at it myself in a while. And I know this data is from, let me see here. This data, I'm assuming, was reported earlier in the day today, but we're looking at, estimated short interest 47%. That's extremely high. Percent of free float on loan 51%. 57 million shares on loan, and again 100 utilization. I mean, that's the stock's heavily shorted. Next thing I wanted to pull up was the Iborrow desk, just to kind of gauge, have shares been returned? No, they haven't. As of the end of the day today, 75,000 shares is all that's available. I mean, yeah, earlier, what was this, yesterday, we were looking at 71 shares. That's an insane number too. I mean, or I don't want to say insane, but kind of an odd number. I've seen 0 before, but 71 is just kind of sticks out anyways. But as you look through here, I mean, there's been days where there's been 900,000, and when you're talking about, the other day there was 60 million shares on loan. Right now there's a little bit less, but not a ton less. What are we at? 57 million on loan, 57.68. That's still huge short interest. That's still a lot of shares out there. So when you're talking about, even if there was 1 million returned, that's not a lot. And right now there's only 75,000 available for shorting. So this is still a highly shorted stock. Still huge potential for short squeeze. Next thing I wanted to talk about, like I said, there was a lot that happened. So yesterday, the company itself, Clov, put out an SEC filing, basically a short squeeze warning in their SEC filing. I mean, and that's insane in itself. I've only seen that happen one other time, and that was with GameStop. They put one out there, and in the actual wording of the SEC filing, they actually talk about that, that the exposure to short sellers may exceed the shares on the market. So, I mean, I don't know. Are they saying that this stock is over 100% shorted? That the short shares out there exceed what the actual float is? If that's the case, like I said, you're looking at GameStop potential with this short squeeze. And this was something they just put out yesterday, Monday, June 21st. So really exciting stuff on the short squeeze side, but also on the, like I said, the Clov as a company, as a value play, still really strong. Another thing that just came up, and I've been kind of reading about, is that they filed for an exemption so that they could be back included in the Russell 2000. So originally they were supposed to go in, they couldn't because there was something out there that you have to have, a certain percentage of voting rights. I think it was 5%. And they're filing for an exemption. If they were to get that, that would also be huge for the company. Ton of stuff. Let's get to the technicals. I'm trying to make this video short. I'll dig into a lot of this stuff in a lot more depth once I get back home. But coming back over here, so looking at the technical analysis on this thing, I mean, everybody who's been following this stock already knows that it was trading at $6 not too long ago. We had this massive run up on June 8th, which I attribute mostly to a gamma squeeze. It kind of came off the option chain. Gamma squeezes work in the opposite direction too. Once it starts going down, the algorithms and stuff get to start pushing shares off, shedding shares, the same reason that they had to buy shares. So, we started kind of falling off, consolidating, broke below the daily EMA, kind of started trading under on the MACD. Important thing that I noticed is, we never really fell below 50 on the RSI. We started to bounce up. Today was an amazing day, but we did kind of hit this resistance level here, at that daily moving average. So what we'd like to see happen is hopefully continue on with some green days, maybe close above this level of like 1350-ish. And then I think that would be a bullish signal that would get more retail investors kind of bought in. But volume increased today too, so I would say that some of this news that's already came out has been bringing retail in. In terms of support, we did kind of see this support level here the other day, like it bottomed out there, and it looks like that was also kind of attributed to that was some resistance levels that we had seen back on April 29th. Resistance levels, once you cross them, then turn around and become support levels, and I think that's what we saw here. So I think the stock is starting to rebound. I think it found its support. It's starting to move up. I think if we get a close above this moving average, it'll start to continue to grow, and eventually we'll try to get up here and test this high of last time of $28. But even if we don't, even if it's a slow transition, it's still a highly undervalued stock. I think it still has a lot of long-term potential, and all this squeeze stuff I just talked about has me really excited. Log on Thursday. I'll be live streaming again. Sorry I won't be on tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll try to dig deeper into a lot of this stuff as soon as I get back home. Thank you. Have a great night. Good luck in the market tomorrow.